the quote that I've been repeating is from Lawrence Hune, who is the chief economist at the National Association of Realtors, one of the guys that I follow, guys and gals. There's some great housing economists out there that I follow. And you know what? They're all on Twitter too, which is great.
Which
so
is your favorite.
I can get an update, hear what everybody has to say. Anyway, his quote that's being repeated quite a bit right now is, "This is not a housing bubble. This is just a lack of supply." And, we were talking to some folks the other day, Tracy, at lunch, and they were like, well, there were no homes built. Well, yeah, that's part of it. Yes, we had very few homes built, right?
We were down over a 10-year span by about 20 million housing starts, right?
Yes.
During the teen years of 2009 to 2019.
Right.
Less 20. Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Instead of 28 million houses built over that time frame, there was about 6 million.
Right.
So that was a huge number of houses that we needed to be built to accommodate what we need right now.
Yeah, and here in Albuquerque, we're actually behind even some of the other markets in the Southwest in construction. We have not built at the same pace as some of the other markets. So yes, we are definitely behind in new construction. There's, it's a perfect storm of things happening. We've talked about the fact that a lot of people decided not to sell last year for whatever reason, right? We April, May of last year, half the number of homes came on the market that normally do.
So April, May last year was the beginning of COVID.
Right.
We didn't know what was happening. People were at home. They weren't going out. And how could people decide to make their house available to be purchased or for sale during the beginnings of the pandemic? It's easy to forget how difficult it was then. We did not know. People were, not even bringing groceries into their house before they let them sit for a day or two or wiped them all down if they had some sort of disinfectant. So selling a house was not the top priority a year ago.
Yeah, no. So that is part of it. So we've never caught up from that. So we got behind.
Right.
The thing is, and I've said this many times, is February of last year, 2020, 2020, we already knew that we were going to have tight supply. The pandemic just kind of exacerbated the problem that was already building and had been building.
Right.
The other thing you have to account for is the millennial boom, right? The number of people that are turning, are in that age range from the late 20s to early 30s that are doing household formations.
Yeah, it's mid 30s, I think now. But
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
And a lot of them that are still first-time home buyers or move up.
No, the Gen Zs are what, like under 25 now, I think?
Yeah, I think
somewhere
so.
in that range?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, there's this whole generational thing as well, and the whole demographic trend that's driving the need for more housing. We haven't stopped having babies, right? We haven't stopped, growing in population, so we need more homes. So anyway, I think we've made the point, Tracy, that there's just a lack of supply.
Right. And so one of the bullet points that Eddie brought up that we wanted to talk about is people are saying, oh my gosh, there's so many less houses for sale. And we said, well, it's really not that different year over year, right? We still have houses coming on the market. It's just there's more buyers for those houses and they're selling quicker. So really, we're not down significantly.
So a phenomenon that's happened here in the Albuquerque area over the last, it's been at least 6 months now, as obviously, I watch this all the time, is the number of homes coming on the market and the number of homes going off the market in our area. And when I say off the market, either selling or canceling or for whatever reason, it's stayed pretty equal. And so we're having homes coming on the market, and actually we're having homes coming on the market at a fairly good pace.
Right.
It's down. I'm going to pull up the number here, so I can give you the data.
You're on Rio Rancho right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm turn off Rio Rancho. If we look at, Eddie was talking about the number, the appreciation for Rio Rancho, which the number he quoted wasn't quite accurate, but
that's what the Rio Rancho.
Well, that's what Gar put out, but it's confusing.
Yeah.
Anyway, the number of new listings coming on the market, if we look at the last 12 months versus the last 12 months previous, it's only down 1%. Now, we do have to account again for that March, April, May of last year where we were down substantially.
Right.
But again, we're getting a lot of homes in the market. I mean, if we just look at April of, well, just last month, we're, almost 15,000 homes came on the market.
That's a lot of houses.
It is a lot of houses. One thing I wanted to just talk about this, you were talking about the underwriting standards and making sure that people have a job, can pay their mortgage, can, have maybe even have some money in the bank, some reserves as they call it.
Right.
That wasn't happening in 2004, 5, 6. And the point I want to make is that this is, again, one of the reasons that this is not like 2008 when we had that real bubble where people were buying homes that had no business buying a home, to be honest with you.
Right. And, Eddie's intro into our segment today laid it out really clearly. And I wanted to point out that, kind of made it sound like all the lenders were at fault for that. But honestly, all those lending programs were available. All they did was say, hey, this program will fit what you're looking for. We're going to put you in that loan. And the borrower is the one who qualified for whatever the loan was at the time, right?
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I blame the borrower, not a lender.
There's plenty of people to blame for that. And, all the way from government programs and governments pushing, homes for everybody, right? And
that's true.
But again, I mean, there's a lot of stuff to blame there. The Wall Street has culpability. Again, it goes on and on and on. The takeaway though is lessons learned, right? We've learned our lessons, right? We have much better, I want to say programs. We have much better data into what's going on in the housing market, as well as how to deal with it. Right, we didn't have forbearance plans back in 2008 and 9 like we do today. That's helping people get through not being able to pay their mortgage.
Right.
So
we didn't have the government stepping in quickly and supplying funds to people also just to keep the money flowing.